All right, all right. Hey, everybody, welcome back to interview number 5 for Millionaire Mastermind 4. Listen, we are interviewing all of the speakers that are going to be speaking to Millionaire Mastermind 4 just to make sure you guys know why you should come out to this amazing event. First of all, it's 100% free, so it doesn't cost you a single dime, just a couple of your minutes to get signed up for this event. But we did this with a twist. It's going to be 100% virtual, 100% free, and all of the money that is being donated to the raffle is going to go to these two incredible programs here, Ambit Cares and Ambit Energy Aid, two incredible programs that Ambit came out with to really just help people, wherever they're at and wherever they need help. So today we're going to interview, one of my favorite guys from the East Coast. I remember growing up in Ambit Energy, hearing all about this guy and his wife and everything that they were doing and everything they were accomplishing. He and his wife are national consultants and part of the $1 Million Club. And I am super happy that they made it back from their trip. Back from their trip here just a couple of days ago. So I got him to do an interview today. So welcome back, Kirk Horan. I'm glad you guys made it back safe, man. That looked like one hell of a trip that you guys went on.
Yeah, thanks for we survived. It was a 2-week journey and an RV with my boys.
That's one of those vacations you kind of need a vacation from, right?
That's right. That's right.
So thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. And listen, we're gonna go over some questions and have some fun with this. But for those of you that may not know Kirk Horan, right? I want you to kind of introduce yourself and then really just tell everybody what you used to do before Ambit Energy.
Sure. Hey, everybody. I am Kirk Horan. I live in upstate New York, where I was born and raised. And you know what? I didn't go to college. My dad was a truck driver. He told me and my 3 brothers, whatever you do, don't become truck drivers. And all 4 of us became truck drivers. And I learned very quickly why he didn't want us to do that. But, it was a good living for not having a college education. My dream was to be a firefighter. And that became a reality in 1996. I got hired as a career fireman, left trucking. Believe it or not, I took a $20,000 per year pay cut. So like many firemen, I threw on a tool belt and called myself a contractor and started doing side jobs to make up the difference. And what happened is I ended up dependent on that extra income. And once you start depending on it, you can't stop. And so, I wouldn't say life was going bad, but I was definitely getting in over my head, car loans, toy loans, mortgages, all the things we all take on throughout our life. And, you never imagine that you're not going to be able to pay your bills for whatever reason. And life-changing event for me was in 2002, 4 days after my youngest son was born. Doctor told me that they couldn't believe I was still alive. I said, you have an aortic aneurysm that if it bursts, you'll die instantly. So they took me out of work and told me I was going to have a major surgery. And my mindset at that time was I was more worried about losing my job than I was of dying, because it didn't register. So they took me out of work. I ended up having a major surgery. I was on the table for 12 hours. They replaced my descending aorta with a Dacron graft and told me I was going to be on disability for the rest of my life. And you tell a fireman they can't be a fireman anymore, you might better rip their heart out, because I was devastated. But as you know, I was able to come back to the fire department after a year, deep in debt, had to go get another part-time job. So I went back to driving tractor trailer again. And I was like a hamster in a cage, spinning the wheel. I was working long hours, working hard, but I was getting nowhere. And then I ended up out of work 2 more times, unforeseen circumstances, definitely my own fault, but I was doing a roof job. I fell off the roof head first, 10 feet. I was out of work for the second time. And then I came back to the firehouse. And then 3 years later, I was involved in a serious snowmobile accident where I almost killed myself again. And that's where I was at when, I was introduced to Ambit Energy. I was actually a guest of a guest. Think about that one. Yeah. So,
did you know? So you knew the person that introduced? Well, I guess so. You knew the person that introduced you to Ambit, right?
I did not. Actually, I did not. So My union president at the fire department called me up and said he was at a union meeting in Albany, New York, and there were some firefighters talking about this energy business. Do you want to go see what's going on? And neither one of us had any clue what that we were going to be looking at. So we went to a live presentation at a restaurant. We were fortunate enough; it was Ray Monty and a couple other consultants here in upstate New York. And I was the biggest skeptic on the planet. I sat there rolling my eyes for a little bit. I was the guy that you didn't want to run into in network marketing. This is a pyramid scheme. This is a scam. But just like many of us, I'm sure you'll see this in every interview. When I saw what it was really about, that it was gas and electricity, something that people already pay for, and we're going to save people money, I was very interested. What really sealed the deal for me was one of the guys who was presenting stood in front of the room and said he's an attorney for the state of New York. So I'm thinking, if this guy's lying, I know where he works. I'm going to go find him. So a part of the story that I don't normally share, normally I don't have time, and maybe we'll run out of time today, I don't know, but my union president, his name is Rich. And on the way home, I said, Rich, what do you think about this? He goes, I've seen these things before. They don't work. I said, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this. I got to talk to my wife. But if I do this, why don't you sign up first and I'll sign up under you? And Rich said, no, I'm not doing it. So my little joke is Rich is not going to be rich because of Ambit. All right. So don't be rich, get rich.
Oh my gosh. I bet he's kicking himself now.
Oh, yeah. So, I got home and I tried explaining this to my wife, and it didn't go so well. We were in a bad place financially. And, many of us started it was February of 2009, and the startup was $429. So I was looking at $455 to start, and we didn't have it. But, like many people, I was in the financial situation I was in because whenever I wanted something, I'd go buy it because I had good credit. And so I said, you know what? What's one more thing? I'm going to go for it and see what happens. And I got started without telling my wife. And I always joke my first goal and my first why in Ambit Energy was to make my money back before my wife got her credit card statement. And I did that. I made $700 in my first 2 weeks. So that was motivation to get started.
That's awesome. That's all. I bet a lot of people can relate to that for sure. That so you've used at least half of your 9 lives in your firefighting. So you've been in for a little while. So you got past that hump. You got in. You had some success. You climbed all the way to the National Consultant $1 Million Club. So along the way, we all run across obstacles and issues, and kind of think back to what was your kind of biggest obstacle you had to overcome, and outside of making your money back during your growth in Ambit, and kind of how did you get past it?
Well, you and I have talked before, and there's definitely this ride, this journey we call Ambit Energy is definitely a roller coaster ride. And I really tried to think about what the best answer would be, but I don't really have a specific answer, but I can give you a couple overviews of some things that were difficult at times. And the first one was, all of the firefighters have at least 2 jobs. We all have a side job or a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. So it got to the point where my fire chief told me I was not allowed to talk about Ambit at the firehouse. So I'd be sitting there at the kitchen table and everybody's talking about their plumbing job or their roofing job or whatever their side business was. And I wasn't allowed to talk about Ambit. So, I was constantly being, held under my chief's thumb on that. But it fueled my fire. That actually inspired me to go out and work harder and prove them all wrong. And as you know, it worked. And, so I just kept going. Every time I ran into a roadblock, it would inspire me to work even harder. We had a major weather event up here in the Northeast, just like you recently had in Texas. And, that was devastating for a lot of people. Most people put their Ambit business on the shelf. I didn't. I said, I'm going to work even harder. And that's what I did. And I actually ended up building massive momentum while everybody else was sitting on the sidelines. And, my team blew up. And, that eventually that's how I got to national consultant. The year that I retired from the firehouse, 2016 was the same year I became an Ambit millionaire. So it was amazing. Everything was just falling into place. But it comes down to, you know, when the going gets tough, work harder, outwork them, you know, and that's what I did.
That's awesome. I mean, that's true. I mean, that's actually true with anything in life, but more true with businesses like Ambit. So we definitely have some stuff in common, right? Yeah. So throughout your business, or really just throughout your journey in Ambit, everyone knows, or everyone hears how important like events are. I mean, we've got Millionaire Mastermind coming up, but outside of that, the home parties and presentations and local trainings and regional trainings and corporate trainings like Ambition coming up. How important are those events, like overall, just to your business and kind of your belief level that kind of keep you going?
Well, this is a great question. And if you really look at what's going on in the world right now, we're kind of living in this virtual world. And I've always said Ambit Energy is a belly-to-belly business, but we do have to adapt and make the best of what we have. And right now, virtual is what we have. But, I'm sure every speaker will say this too. If it were not for events, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. That's why they call it stay plugged in. That's why they call it plugging in, because, every event, like every time I see the presentation, even today, and I see those numbers, it just gets me excited all over again. And, I've been living it for 12 years. And, if you don't go to the events, you never get that fire in your belly. One of the best sayings I ever heard was, you're not in Ambit until Ambit's in you. And the only way Ambit can get in you is if you're around the fire. You can't be out in the cold. You got to be around the fire. And the fire is around weekly presentations, big trainings, power trip, or Ambition, or simulcast, the Millionaire Mastermind coming up. It's these things are what will project your business higher and give you more momentum. So without plugging in, you will ultimately fail.
Yep, I cannot agree more with that. I mean, I say over and over again the same thing. If it wasn't for us going to all these events that we've been to, we wouldn't have been able to see the vision that Ambit was building. So listen, I really appreciate you, setting some time aside today to do this interview. My real goal is just to show everybody that we're all real people, right? We just worked a little bit harder than everybody else to get where we were at. So, and thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad that that you made it back safe, and I can't imagine what you went through up there in New York to build this business through all that stuff. Because, man, that shows a lot of integrity and drive to get past all that stuff. Because there's a lot of people that would have quit not being able to talk about the business, but instead you just let it motivate you.
A lot of people did quit.
Yeah, I know.
What I want people to say is, what I want to say to everybody is we sat in your seat. If you're watching this and you're brand new, I started as a marketing consultant. Kevin and Rose started as marketing consultants, and we worked our way through the compensation plan. And, this is not get rich quick. You have to work this business. It's a real business. And if you treat it that way, it will ultimately pay you that way.
Yeah, 100% agree. And that's why we're still doing it. That's why we're still, we made it to national, but we haven't slowed down yet. We're still building. So kind of let that sink in a little bit. So listen, man, thank you very much. I can't wait to see you train at Millionaire Mastermind on May 1st. So you guys are going to have to come out and see what Kirk's going to train on. I'm not going to tell you.
That's right. All right, man. I want to thank you and Rose for doing all you're doing. I mean, this is stuff that we need right now. And the fact that you stepped up to do this, I just want to thank you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, we can't wait. I can't believe it's just like 10 or 11 days away. I'm freaking out already. So we're excited, and I agree. I can't wait to see everybody online. We're broadcasting on Facebook Live and YouTube, so it's going to be available up there. So thank you, man. Tell your wife we said hi, and we can't wait to see you guys at Ambition 2021. I'm super excited to kind of have at least an in-person event coming up on the horizon. Yeah. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.